Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Tuesday, the 13th day of November. It's World Kindness Day, also National Indian Pudding Day today, and I do have a quote for today as well. My quote is from Henry J. Kaiser. Live daringly, boldly, fearlessly. Taste the relish to be found in competition in having put forth the best within you. I like that. Also, in addition to that, you know what we have coming up later in the program?
What's that?
Tuesdays with Charlie.
That's my favorite.
I know. It's when we reach out to her dad and we talk to him about all kinds of silly nonsense. We've got that coming your way later in the show. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. We appreciate you joining us.
Want to honor a veteran? Consider giving to Veterans Tickets Foundation, a national nonprofit who supports our currently serving military, veterans, and family members of those we've lost in action by providing them with free tickets to sporting events, concerts, performing arts, and family activities. VetTix is dedicated to giving back to those who gave us so much. Learn how you can help at vettix.org. VetTix, T-I-X.org.
Time now for Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? Heidi, you ready for this one?
I am ready.
All right, no cheating. I'm going to put this up so you
I'm
can't
not going
see.
to cheat.
All right, tell me, Mystic Dunes in Celebration, Florida. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center?
Rehab center?
Mystic Dunes. You think it's a rehab center?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a golf course. I know. Next time you'll do better. This has been Is It a Golf Course?
I put forth my best effort, and
right.
I can relish in that.
Yes, you can. This has been Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? We're getting to the time of year where we start planning for holiday parties and other events that often include alcohol. I encourage you to have some alcohol-free options as well. And if you are drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. If you or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help. TimeForRehab.com would love to connect you with someone who can be there for you or that loved one. If you feel like it's time to finally get the help you need, we're here for you. TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com. And this is your brain on drugs. Records show that a 62-year-old man from Indiana, Kenneth Dwayne Woods, contacted the police to lodge a complaint about his crack cocaine dealer. Yeah, he came and said, I bought some crack cocaine over a period of time on credit from a female dealer and her boyfriend. Woods told the police that he has not paid the duo $400 that he owes them. In light of his unpaid narcotics bill, his dealers are now threatening to run him out of town, vandalize his car, and shoot him.
Well,
Additionally, owing the interest, the dealers now contend that he owes $500. So, anyway.
I did not know you could buy drugs on credit.
I think it all depends on the dealer, Heidi. Yeah, some apparently take credit, like this guy does, or this lady does. Anyway, it says Woods also stated that the assorted threats occurred earlier in the month. So it's been going on a while.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, ABC has given a go-ahead to a pilot of Work Wife, inspired by Kelly Ripa and Ryan Seacrest. Written by Michael Ian Black, the comedy will explore the dynamics surrounding work spouses who have very few boundaries with each other and how that impacts their relationship with everyone else. You are my work wife, aren't you?
I am, actually.
But you're also my real life wife.
Yeah.
So you're my work wife and my real wife. Mm-hmm. So maybe we can have our own show.
I don't want a show.
You don't want a show? Okay.
No.
Diana Ross and John Legend are going to perform at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It is so funny to say next week.
Holy
doesn't
cow.
seem like we're ready for that, does it? I cannot believe Thanksgiving is almost here already.
Oh, I know.
How did that happen?
I have no idea how that
It's
happened.
like you blink
It's
your eyes,
crazy.
and next thing you know, it's going to be Christmas, and then it'll be, New Year's, and it's all coming soon. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on this Tuesday, the 13th day of November.
Every day, approximately 23 U.S. military veterans take their own lives. Big Paws Canine Foundation is helping to decrease that number, providing service and companion dogs to our disabled veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Partnering a hero with a specifically trained dog significantly reduces the incidence of suicide, and your support makes all the difference. Find out how you can help our American heroes. Join the pack at BigPawsCanine.com.
Now your scoop of the day brought to you by FreshPatch.com, promo code RADIO. Financial experts are warning that inflation could cause higher prices in Big Macs and Coca-Colas, Heidi.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so, when it was other stuff, people were like, who cares? And all of a sudden they're, taking a
Messing
swig
with
of,
my messing with my hangover
hey,
helper.
don't you dare. Now I care. So I don't know. I have to ask. We're going to be talking with Jordan Goodman here eventually. I don't know when that is. It's got to be coming up soon. We talk to him usually about once a month, so I have to ask him his thoughts on the Big Mac and Coke market. A new study ranked The Exorcist as the greatest horror movie of all time. Do you agree or disagree?
It was good.
Was it good?
I don't
Was
know
it the
if
greatest?
It wasn't my favorite. I love it. But
Which is your favorite, Heidi?
I
Do
would
you have
say
a
the
favorite?
greatest horror movie of all time would have to be The Omen.
Okay. Well, there you go. I don't have a favorite. An Ohio priest has confessed to having an inappropriate relationship with a teenage altar girl who is now pregnant. That's not good. A New York woman was arrested after she choked a man unconscious and wrongfully assumed that he touched her in the buttocks.
Oh.
So it wasn't even him, but she choked him out. Yikes. She's not messing around right there. An American Airlines baggage handler fell asleep in the cargo bay of an airplane about a week ago. Ended up flying from Kansas City to Chicago. Can you imagine waking up? Wait a minute. What am I doing in here?
How would you...
I don't know. He was apparently had his little earmuffs on because you see them out there working. They have the little earmuffs on because you'd think it'd be loud enough that you wouldn't doze off. But then again,
Right?
I doze off at concerts all the time. So, I guess I got no room to talk. Divers have recovered the black box from the Lion Air jet that crashed into the ocean off the coast of Indonesia. Not a lot that would explain the crash still. They're trying to figure that out. And then I think this will probably be our last story, but it's a long story. It says here, Nashville is known for many things, such as music and barbecue, and now drinking, too. According to a top 10 list put together by Thrillist, an online media site covering food and travel and drink and entertainment, Nashville is the number one place to drink in America today. The list, top 10 best drinking cities in America right now, says Nashville, Tennessee, takes many of the elements that define previous entries on the list and then straight up amplifies them into the stratosphere. That is a direct quote. It cites Nashville's venues, comfort, beauty, and financial appeal as factors that landed them on the top of this list. Other cities that made the list include New Orleans, New York City, and Milwaukee. So there you go. For those of you trying to plan a trip, if this is one of the factors that you would use, the best place to go have a drink, Nashville is number
Well, that
one.
kind of makes sense, right? Nothing goes better with alcohol than beer and barbecue.
Well, yeah, I
Or
suppose those
than
things all go
music and
together.
barbecue.
Yeah, I'm saying alcohol and beer
Yeah,
do go well
nothing
together.
goes better with alcohol than music and barbecue. But it's, that makes sense that they're at the top of the list. That's where they should be.
So there you go. I've got a link to this story if you want to read all the details. We'll have that in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. This has been today's Scoop of the Day.
Are you trying to find the perfect gift for someone with a good sense of humor? FunkyMonkeyShirts.com has a good selection of funny t-shirts and more. Some with Christmas themes. One that even replaces the ugly Christmas sweater for your next party. Find some silly shirts at FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Also, learn how you can sell your own designs to make some extra Christmas cash. There's a link at the bottom of the page at FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. That's FunkyMonkeyShirts.com.
And it's time right now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday just because we can. We pick up the phone and we call my father-in-law for a little thing we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
It's Tuesdays with Charlie on the John and Heidi Show.
How you doing, Charlie?
I'm doing really fine. Thank you very much.
Well, we're probably going to see you here fairly soon for Thanksgiving. Are we getting together for Thanksgiving or no?
Well, do I have a choice?
No, I don't think so. I think we're going to kidnap you.
And we probably will.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. It'll be one more thing to be thankful for. And it sounds like he's thankful, too. Well, what kind of cool stuff are we going to talk about here today?
Okay, let's see. Okay, Oreo cookies, know them?
Oh, yeah.
They are over 100 years old and are a backup of a cookie called Hydrox.
Yeah, they ripped
John
off
knew that.
Hydrox.
It suffered from the impression that it was a knockoff of Oreo and fell into obscurity.
How
Yeah.
sad is that, the original one?
I know, the originals are the ones that don't sell as well as the fake one. But, Oreo has done a pretty darn good job over the years.
They have.
Well, they run Hydrox out, yeah.
They
I
have.
didn't like them anyway. Hey, then George Lazenby, he's an actor.
Sure.
Have you heard of him? No, you haven't either.
No.
What was the name again? Yours?
George, Lazenby. Lazenby?
I don't think I know who that is.
Okay, well, he wasn't an actual actor anyway.
Okay. I'm hoping there's more to the story than that. Okay.
He got himself a suit, Rolex, and a new haircut, then met with the producer and made up movies he had been in. He later landed the role of James Bond.
You're kidding me.
No.
And he just pretended to be an actor when he wasn't really an actor.
There you got her.
So he is a Bond? Is he a Bond guy?
Then he got to be a James Bond character? He got to be James Bond or a character in a James Bond movie?
He got to be James Bond.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
No, I'm going to have to Google him now.
I've never heard of it.
I thought you made him up, Charlie.
I never make stuff up. This is honest. That's true.
All right. If it ain't on the internet, then we don't talk about it.
Put a lot of research into this.
I know you do, and I appreciate every bit of that.
Well, not a lot, but we put some research. Hey, I got one last thing here for you.
Okay.
All right. What do you have?
Researchers have determined that deer crossing warning signs do not prevent accidents.
No kidding?
I don't know why they needed researchers.
Well, but you'd think that when you see the deer crossing sign, you'd try to pay a little more attention.
Yeah,
Maybe
you pay
we've just gotten
attention
used
right
to
by
them.
the sign, and then a mile up the road, you forgot about the sign, and then you smack a deer.
I've actually seen 2 car accidents where they hit a deer and it was right by a deer crossing sign. Like literally within a couple of feet. Twice I've seen that in my life.
When you see that sign, you know that's for a deer cross. You should slow down.
It's funny, I remember there was a person who called into a radio station and said that they need to move the deer crossing sign to a different location because they should put that where there's not as much traffic. And this person literally thought that the deer were the ones reading the sign and they were knowing that's where they're supposed to cross. That's not how it works.
Well, that's how it's supposed to work.
That's how it's supposed to
The
work.
deer don't read the sign. That's for us to know
they
that
can.
that's just a busy
they can.
place.
They look up and say, oh, we can cross here. It's safe.
Okay.
Boom.
I don't think so. Well, you ready for a question from us, Charlie?
Sure.
All right, I got something for you here. Have you ever seen a sea otter? Do you know what a sea otter is?
Yep.
They've got little pouches by their forearm. What do they put in those pouches?
Dead fish.
No, they're cell phones. Just kidding. They don't really. They put their favorite rocks in those pouches.
For what?
Because they find a rock they like and they put it in that pouch.
It's like our stupid kids constantly dragging rocks in the house.
Our kids do have a weird collection of rocks.
They do.
What are all these rocks? Hey, those are my rocks. I'm like, why? What do you have these?
So they got one in each arm or leg or whatever?
Yeah, they have one on each arm by their forearms.
You got to have a rock on each side so you don't sink or tip.
And maybe
So you don't
that's
tip over.
Maybe that does help them stay underwater. I don't know. That could be. See, Charlie just figured it out.
Oh, yeah. Geez, he's smart.
It's a buoyancy thing.
Yeah, he's very intelligent.
Well, Charlie just cracked the code. Well, we will talk to you again soon, Charlie. Thank you for reaching out, and always a pleasure to talk. I guess we called him, but thank you for answering
Thanks
the
for
phone.
answering the phone, Dad.
I didn't call you. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, you called here once. It was a wrong number, but you called here.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right here, we talk to him every Tuesday just because we can. It's a little thing we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
John and Heidi.
If you want to grow your business, you can add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers or a combination of both. There's no other way to grow your business. Just those two. Add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers. And if you already have a relationship with your customers and you have their email address, you can reach out to them with special offers to easily grow your sales and you'll make your customers even happier. Let the experts at Constant Contact help. Get a free trial now. Text Radio Trial to number 22828. That's Radio Trial, all one word, to number 22828.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A cat co-authored a physics paper in 1975.
Okay.
I wonder if they got a good grade on that. Think they got an A?
I don't know.
Or a B? Or a C? I don't know.
Perfect score.
Perfect score. 1975, a cat co-authored a physics paper. I got a feeling the cat didn't do much. Just thinking. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
FreshPatch.com is making dogs like me happy. They send out real grass pads for us to use indoors. Now when it's cold outside, I can go inside. And when I've used up the real grass patch, the mailman brings me a new Fresh Patch. It's the best idea since doggy treats. Convince your mommy to try it today. I suggest you try Puppy Dog Eyes. FreshPatch.com. Use promo code RADIO to save 10%. That's FreshPatch.com, promo code RADIO.
Time now for a weird word of the day, and today's word is prickmadainty. Prickmadainty. What do you think prickmadainty is?
I have no idea.
It is, I'll spell it for you, Prickmadainty. Prickmadainty is an affectionately nice person.
It's not what I was thinking.
Someone who cares over much about his clothing or appearance. So somebody that wants to look really nice.
Okay.
If you want to look really nice, and if you're an affectionately nice person, you're a prickmadainty.
I was thinking it was a tiny.
No, it's not that.
Oh. It sounds more like what I thought it was.
Let's not go into what you thought it was. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Want to honor a veteran? Consider giving to Veterans Tickets Foundation, a national nonprofit who supports our currently serving military, veterans, and family members of those we've lost in action by providing them with free tickets to sporting events, concerts, performing arts, and family activities. VetTix is dedicated to giving back to those who gave us so much. Learn how you can help at vettix.org. VetTix.org.
Now some weird news for you on a Tuesday. Police in Tennessee say a half-naked woman fell twice through a restaurant ceiling and landed in their kitchen. News outlets report 26-year-old Harley C. Morton was arrested on charges including trespassing and disorderly conduct.
Twice? She did it once and then went up again and did it again?
Apparently. Anyway, 911 was called. The naked bottom half of a woman dropped through the ceiling tiles. It says a responding officer found her wallet with her ID on the restaurant roof. They say she may have gotten into the ceiling through an air conditioning unit. She fell through the ceiling again while the officer was on the roof. It says that she landed on the floor, was arrested by other officers. It is unclear whether or not she has a lawyer. So that is a bad idea. Don't do that. If you do, you're going to end up in today's Weird News.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We've got your moment of duh right now. You think most people are done with their Halloween candy by now? It's been, 2 weeks?
Oh, yeah,
Hopefully,
I would say so.
But I still have a couple of stories that are trickling in from Halloween. This one here, a man who dressed as the Terminator for Halloween, complete with a live ammo strap across his chest, sparked some 911 calls. UFC police, this was in the University of Central Florida, said they were responding to a campus classroom when a person arrived, when the police arrived, they found a man dressed as the Arnold Schwarzenegger character with live rounds of ammunition. The man was detained and questioned and ultimately released. It says here they received one call about the man with real bullets. They said, we're surprised that we only got one call. It may be a costume, but it is more than a costume, and it is our job as the police department to keep the campus safe. I agree. So it's a good thing that, it was just a person dressing up. It was nothing, no harm intended, but I could see where people might get a little freaked out about that. That is today's moment of duh.
Every day, approximately 23 U.S. military veterans take their own lives. Big Paws Canine Foundation is helping to decrease that number, providing service and companion dogs to our disabled veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Partnering a hero with a specifically trained dog significantly reduces the incidence of suicide, and your support makes all the difference. Find out how you can help our American heroes. Join the pack at BigPawsCanine.com.
Time now for fake news or Florida. This is where Heidi has to tell me, is this a true story that happened in the great state of Florida, or is it fake news made up just to amuse us? Heidi, tell me. A Clearwater man arrested for driving recklessly on a beach after he streamed it live on Facebook. Fake news or Florida?
Florida.
Yeah, it's a true story. I think we might have talked about that back when it happened. It's a bad idea to do that, but it's an even worse idea to stream it live on Facebook. You're going to get caught.
Yeah.
Don't do that. This has been Fake News or Florida.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of Odiva. That is the monthly subscription service just for the ladies. All of the details at radiosavings.com. This is an interesting concept here, Heidi. It says a community of tiny homes breaks a cycle of addiction, which you don't necessarily think of that, but this says here this community of tiny homes breaks a cycle of addiction and homelessness for single mothers.
Okay.
I think this is a really cool idea. Homeless single mothers are being reunited with their children thanks to a community of tiny homes and a service that's being provided there. Acres of Hope allows women to live in one of their 10 cottages for up to 2 years,
Wow.
accessing the aid that helps them finish their education, clear their criminal record, and get higher-paying jobs. Then find permanent housing and, most importantly, address the root cause of their addiction so they can achieve personal success.
Wow, that's amazing.
I think so,
love
too.
it.
It says, instead of being shuffled from program to program without any real chance, this Christian-based nonprofit in Auburn, California, aims for real-life changing transformations. The staff and volunteers invest heavily in their lives by providing encouragement, practicing life skills training, job skills mentoring, and spiritual direction. I think it's just a really cool thing.
That's absolutely amazing.
And I'm looking at these tiny homes.
They're cute.
They're adorable. A bunch of little cottages. They're not huge, but they're adorable. And it says, I walked in homeless, my children about to be adopted after 18 months of being in foster care, no job, no transportation, no close family support. This was a young lady by the name of Bria. And she said, this program transformed mine and my 3 children's lives. My kids were returned. My case closed successfully. I have an amazing career that is beyond my wildest dreams.
Good.
A home to
that's
call our
beautiful.
own, transportation, and my dignity back. Now I get to go out in this world and give back what was so freely given to me. I think that's
beautiful.
Cool.
I love that. That is absolutely perfect.
It is. I've got a link to this story. It's in our good news section of today's show notes at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.